Okay, looks like we should be live. If anyone's in the chat, just let me know that you can see and hear okay. So yeah, let me know if you can hear me okay. I'll just get out in front of the camera. So hello everyone. My little rock pool's filling up very quickly. So let me know if the chat's working okay. Let me know if you can hear me okay. It's quite windy out here, so I'll try not to talk over the mic. Stream's on, sounds good. Okay, good. Up and about photography. G'day Jack, g'day up and about. John Carter, loud and clear. All right, good, thank you. Thank you to everyone who's in here. Yeah, reception was playing up. G'day Leslie, how are you? G'day Linda, looking good. Peter, how you going? So yes, thank you to everyone who's in here. I'll just come around in front of the camera. Let me know, again, just what the audio's like out in front here. So I had a little bit of a plan, and that was to get my little rock pool to fill up. And it's filling up a bit quicker than I thought. We've actually got a fair sort of a swell today. I almost feel like jumping in there. But yeah, we've got a bit of a swell, so it's filling up a lot quicker than I was hoping. In fact, that's just about done now. But yeah, look, we're nowhere near sunset. It's looking really nice out there. So I've got a plan B, which once we get closer to blue hour, closer to sunset, I'll head back down there. But yeah, my plan for the rock pool has failed. It's filled up very quickly. So yeah, toucan. Thank you, very well, good. Thank you for jumping in. So yeah, hello to everyone who's in here at the moment. I'll try not to talk too loud. I feel like I'm talking over the waves. Yeah, we've actually got a bit of a swell rolling in today, which is, it's nice to see. It's quite nice out here. A bit of a wind, nice swell. Yeah, good. Now, yeah, look, I'm not going to bother taking photos just yet because the plan was to get here just as the sun was starting to set, so we get a little bit of orange glow. There's a little bit of a glow there. But yeah, that pool, it's just filled up a bit too quickly, I think. But yeah, that's what I wanted, all those waves rushing in. So yeah, I'll wait for that sun to set a little bit more. Let me show you around in the meantime. I'm going to have to move from here very quickly because it's tide's coming in quick. So let me give you a quick look around. I'm right out on the point today because the last few nights we've had some pretty awesome colour. And out here I get a good view. So that's looking due east. So that's east out over Fraser Island. And if we turn around to the west, where the sun sets, we get a view west as well. Okay, so we've literally got a 180 degree view. And the last few nights, the sun, all the light's been up here. We've had some really nice pinks and oranges and lots of really nice colour up this way. And the cloud's looking very similar. If we look over this way, it's all blue sky. Okay, so not a lot of high cloud in particular. It's all very much blue sky. It's a little bit of cloud over where the sun's setting. But over this way, we've got this really nice high cloud, which usually lights up with all our pinks and oranges. So I'm hoping as the sun sets over here, we can shoot out this way and get some nice colour away from the sun. It has definitely broken up a bit since I got here. When I got here, it was a lot cloudier. And yeah, look, that's Hervey Bay. Look, that's everywhere really. You can't predict weather. I don't look at weather apps. As long as I see partly cloudy, possible shower, that usually means we're going to get some cloud. So yeah, last night it's actually been pretty good up here lately. We've been spoilt over the last couple of months with some really epic sunsets. But yeah, look, it's just nice to be out looking at the waves. I've seen a few turtles around. A lot of turtles around at the moment. Yeah, I'm going to have to move soon. This is getting pretty close. So yeah, we might have to go to plan B soon. Look at that. That's really nice. Yeah, this spot, it's really good on that 2.5 metre tide. And when the waves aren't quite as big, it Nice little rock pool here. But look at that. It's good to see some waves in Hervey Bay. It's good to see some waves in Hervey. And look, we could even get, there's a little bit of a rock pool down there as well. So yeah, look, I'm just going to wing it for now. We're still a long way from sunset. It's a good half an hour before sunset. G'day Pam, how are you? How'd your photos go the other night? I had a look at some of Suzanne's today and they looked quite nice from our sunset session. So yeah, it was a good night. We had fun. I ran a class the other night. It was a sunset self-portrait session. So I got a couple of speed lights out and we did some flash photography at sunset. So yeah, it was good fun. It was good fun. I think we all need to learn how to pose in front of a camera. I think it's fair to say we were all pretty awkward in front of a camera, and that's why we're photographers. We like to take photos of other people, not ourselves. So I'm just going to reevaluate what we're doing here. Like I said, we're still half an hour away from sunset. I just wanted to get the stream set up early, say hello to everyone. And that's sort of what I do. I like to get out at least an hour, 45 minutes before sunset, so I can see what the sky's doing, see where the cloud is, and like I know all the clouds out this way, so I kind of want to be shooting this way. Yeah, that rock pool filled up pretty quick. See, normally we have more waves like this rolling through, but yeah, got a nice swell out here today. So yeah, I'm here early, just sort of looking around, waiting for that sun to get down a little bit lower, get some nice golden light, which we will get. We'll definitely get a good sunset. Stick around, we will get a good sunset. I can almost guarantee it. It's looking perfect. That high cloud, clear over on the horizon, and high cloud is usually when you get all your oranges and things. Look at that wave rolling in. It's good to be out here. Keep an eye on my camera. Yeah, we're fine. Yeah, I might even move down here because as the tide comes in, there's another little rock waterfall down there. So we might try that before we move over into pole position. So just let me know if the audio drops out or if anything goes a bit funky. I spotted a few crocs out here earlier too. And there they are. I shouldn't joke about crocodiles. One literally swam past us to get down to Seascape the other day. Alright, I'm just going to move the camera, excuse the jumpiness. Yes, that croc that was spotted up near Elliot Heads was now been spotted down near Seascape. So it has swam straight past us. Alright, let's have a look down here. I probably should have my shoes on. I probably should have my Crocs on. Okay, so down here we get another little waterfall section. So we will get set up here for now, and I'll just keep an eye on that sky and we'll move as we need to. And I am going to put my shoes back on. It's starting to get a little bit sketchy. So yeah, thank you again to everyone who's here, and stay tuned because this will be a good sunset, I reckon. Yeah, I've definitely missed my little rock pool. There's rock pools all along here though. It's not just that one. There is lots of nice little rock pools along here. It's one of my favourite spots. Always get some waves. Waves, rocks, mangroves. A beach just to the left of us, which I actually went fishing at the other night for the first time in ages and did okay. Alright, so let me just change that camera angle and you'll see there's a little bit of a rock pool, a little waterfall starting to appear here, which yeah, if our light starts to get nice, I will get that little waterfall there. Okay, so as you can see, the tide is coming in pretty quick. And yeah, I'm going to plan on getting this little waterfall next. Okay, so this is one of those compositions. I kind of want these rocks. Where's my finger? Over there. I want these rocks to the right. A little bit of... Don't really like what's happening on that side of the frame, but there's not much I can do about it. And yeah, just having that little waterfall slap bang in the middle as the tide comes in. Might even, yeah, this rock up here is pretty high. I think we would be wet to get that one with some water crashing over it. There's a nice little wave. It's just a shame the sky's not doing anything at the moment, because that's a really nice little composition there. That little, who says there's no waterfalls in Hervey Bay? Look, I'm going to get a shot. Let's do it. I'm going to have to put a filter on. So I'll run through everything I'm doing. I'm going to go with an ND64 because we've got plenty of light. We've got lots of light, so ND64 will cover. Well, actually, just as I say that, we're starting to lose a bit of light. Let me just take a quick reading on the back of my camera and see what we're doing. If we shoot at, say, F11, get down to half a second. How many stops is that? Well, that's close. I reckon we could go with an ND8, maybe. Let's try it. So yeah, I am going to put a filter on. I just want to try and get that half a second exposure while the sun's up nice and high. So I'll try the ND8 first and just sort of see what that's doing. 3 stops should be enough, as long as that sun sort of stays where it is. It's borderline. It's borderline. I'd have to shoot it F18, F16 even. Yeah, let's do it. I don't want to be changing filters too much. So ND8, I'll show you, it is a bit too bright for my ND8, but I'll show you a little trick that we can do. Have I got vignetting? Let me just take that UV filter off. I will pop around in front of the camera soon. I'm just trying to get organised back here. Yeah, tide's coming in quick, so I just need everything back behind me where it's nice and dry. Make sure I keep everything in my pockets. Yeah, we're sort of, high tide is well after sunset tonight, so I just got to keep an eye on that tide because it is coming in fairly quickly. I don't want anything getting wet. So I'm just making sure that everything's high and dry. And the good thing about this little waterfall, that will stay there for a while. So what I'll do, let me get that camera back a bit. And I'll show you the back of my camera. Let me show you the back of the camera so you sort of get an idea of what we're doing. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is get my exposure sorted. And, you know, once again, another little a tip on using manual mode. Now, the most important thing to me at the moment is around about that half a second shutter speed. So I'm just going to brighten everything up so you can kind of see what's going on. So all I really want is a half a second shutter speed. Okay, I don't want 1 second. I don't want it down into the fourths of a second. So I want it around about that half a second. That'll give me some nice movement in the water and some texture. My ISO is at 100, and then all I'm doing is changing my aperture now until that histogram isn't clipping. Okay, so around about there somewhere. Okay, so that's keeping my highlights under control. I've got my half a second exposure. I could probably even put my ISO down to low. Then I can get my aperture back down where I want it, which is around about F10, F11. So I might try it. Now, when you shoot at a low ISO, you do lose dynamic range, but by looking at that histogram, everything's within range. So I don't really care too much about my dynamic range when my highlights aren't clipping and my shadows aren't clipping. Okay, so there's a little tip on just changing a few settings to get, yeah, my number one priority is that shutter speed. That's number one for me, getting my shutter speed at half a second. And then I just sort of change the other two so I can expose correctly. Now let's go back out to wide view. so you can see the back of my head a bit clearer. Okay, and look at that, that was dry when I set up, and now we've got quite a bit of water there. So let me just quickly get a shot, get my first shot. I'm going to get in the, how slippery is it? Well, it's not too bad. Just checking how slippery it is. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Alright. So I want to try and get as close to that little waterfall as I can. I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit as well. I'm going to zoom right. I'm right in at 40 mil because I just want to get the waterfall. Not much happening either side. My bum just got wet then. So I'm just zooming right in on that waterfall. That's my focal point. I'll get my 2-second timer. If I don't work quickly, I am going to run out of water soon. Okay, 2-second timer is on. So I've just focused on where the waterfall is. I'm waiting for a wave like that one. Want a bigger wave than that, but that's our first shot. Okay, it's a shot. It's nothing great. We've got no light, and that's sort of, we've lost that golden glow now. So, as you know, our foreground's nice. It's okay. We've got that little waterfall, got some sort of reflections, but we've got no light. It's just flat and no light. So no matter how nice this is going to look, having no light isn't really going to help us. So I'm just sort of watching waves, wait for a nice big wave to roll in. And yeah, composition wise, I don't like it. Let me try zooming out and see if I can make something a bit nicer out of it. I would like to have something a bit closer to my foreground. I'm just zooming in on those rocks. Zoom in, just focusing on that waterfall. It's all right, here comes a nice wave. That's a better one. Okay, start to get some whitewash in here and it'll look nicer. Here comes another one. It's all rushing in from the side too. That's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. I need some light, some nice side light. The sun's just diffused by the cloud at the moment. If the sun was out, we'd have all nice golden light on these rocks, but we don't even have that at the moment. It is just dead flat. You know, you often hear people talk about light, and this is an example of bad light. The sun's diffused, so we're not getting that golden glow. It's almost like overcast. So very flat, very lifeless at the moment. And look, we could Photoshop the hell out of it to make it look nice. Okay, so yeah, it's still, it doesn't look very nice at all. Let's wait for another wave. And you watch, as soon as this fills up, the sun will come out and it'll be nice. So yeah, thank you to everyone who's in here. Stick with it. I will almost guarantee we will get a nice sunset, and once we get over there shooting towards the sun, things will liven up. Okay, I'm sort of hoping all this cloud goes pink as we probably closer to, here comes a nice wave. That's a good one. Look at that. That's what I want. Wow. And there's another one. They always come in sets, so if you miss the first one, hang around for the second one. Here comes another one. That one's not doing much, but I'm still taking shots because now I'm getting all this whitewash coming in. So here comes the last wave in the set, and it's not a real big one, but still got some whitewash down there. That's not too bad. All right, that's the set done. Yeah, okay, that's just livened it up a bit. That's just livened it up. Let me show you what happened then, just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. G'day John, how are you? Have you paid Patrick Wynne your cloud tax? No, I haven't. He won't let the sun through until you do. I know, I didn't pay my cloud tax. I forgot to put my order in. I just guessed that it was going to be nice. I saw all the cloud and I thought, this is looking good. I shouldn't have to pay anyone today or do any bribery. Okay, so here's the first shot with absolutely no waves. All right, very flat, very just yuck. And then as we start to get some waves rolling in, okay, start to get some whitewash, then things start to look a bit nicer. Once you get all this whitewash, it just kind of livens it up a bit. Where if we look at the shots without any whitewash, it's very just blah. But yeah, if we had some nice golden light there, it would have been really nice. But yeah, we just got flat light at the moment. Not very flattering at all. G'day Matt, how are ya? Looking nice. It's lovely out here. It's like the sun's starting to do stuff, so we might go and move soon. Because yeah, this spot, I missed my window. I had a little window with these waves crashing in, and I've kind of, I don't want to give up on it yet. I don't want to give up on it just, you know. There's some nice sunbeams out there now. What do I do? The dilemmas. Good problem to have though, isn't it? Yeah, we're getting some nice light over there. I am losing this quickly, so I'm going to, and I don't really want to be, had a lot of rain up here lately, so all the mud's kind of sitting on the rocks. So it is getting a little bit sketchy, to tell the truth. And I don't like sketchy, especially on a live. I don't need to be slipping over and damaging myself. But yeah, look, I'm going to move. I'm going to go and find another spot. I'm kind of losing this spot pretty quickly. So you're going to have to bear with me as I try and walk around without image stabilisation on. And hopefully the stream doesn't completely drop out. G'day Matthew, how are you? Would make a nice black and white image, exactly. Yeah, look, that's one of those things that when you don't have nice light, black and whites do come up really well. Okay, so yeah, we're at that stage now. We're missing our little waterfall, but have a look what's happening over here. Okay, we're starting to, let me get it off the wide angle. Which one is it? That one. Okay, starting to get some nice sunbeams. This cloud up here will light up. I can almost guarantee that will light up. So I'm going to go and get into position. I'll put this back at the wide angle because then it won't be quite as wobbly as I walk. So bear with me as I shuffle around. I am walking over rocks. So yeah, let me go and change position. So yes, thank you to everyone who's here. Off we go. So yeah, I do like it out here because it's one of those spots where if the sun does start to light up either way, which, you know, there's every chance that this will light up later. But we're just going to go with where the sun is at the moment. And I reckon that's where most of our colour will be, up that way. That way we might get a little bit, but yeah, the nice gaps in the sky up that way. So let's go and prepare for that. Prepare for the worst and hope for the best. So and that's literally what I'm doing. I'm preparing for the worst. I'm preparing that we don't get any colour at all. So I'm over here, I just know we've got some nice foreground. That even if we don't get a lot of colour, we get some nice golden glow on the rocks. There's some nice textures on the rocks over this way. Where out this way it is very much water flow. It's getting all those waves crashing over the rocks, which is looking nice, but nah, it's that tide is just getting a little bit too high for here. And it is one of those spots where I like to be in the water. I don't want to be in the water on a live stream because then I've got to keep my eye on the camera and the microphone and phone, microphone. Let's just play it safe. Like over here, we're still going to get waves crashing over the rocks, but we just get nicer compositions because then we get sunset over the water. Where if we stay back here, we've got all this crap to the left, which doesn't make a nice shot. I like to have water all through my shot, not like half-half. So even here's kind of okay with that little pond in here, but let's get over Get over near these markers. And the tide should be almost perfect for my tree at blue hour. Well, one of my trees, I've got lots of trees. This one, yeah, I've had some pretty epic sunsets over here lately. I do need to find a new spot. But yeah, this time of year, while the sun's setting where it is, once we get into winter, the sun sets almost straight out there. So in winter, we can kind of find a new spot. But in summer, on this tide, this is a good, safe spot to be. Okay, so see, that's what now we're starting to get some lines, and that's sort of what I'm looking at now. So now we'll start to get some reflections and have water on both sides of my frame. And we should, as the tide comes in, we'll start to get some water rushing over these rocks. And we'll just slowly work our way up as the tide keeps coming. Okay, so nice water rushing in down here as well. So there's like a little, the water can come in through that side. And here we've got some nice lines. So this is kind of what I was saying before with the plan, is plan to have all this foreground just in case the sky does nothing. And if the sky does something, we can just kind of recompose and we still have some sort of interest in our foreground, and then we can focus on our sky. So it's like a bit of both. We've got a little bit in the foreground, and hope for our sky to do something. Starting to get some colour up there. Starting to look okay. So yeah, let me know if the audio is still okay. It may have gone a bit funny while we were walking. I know the bitrate goes a bit crazy when I walk around. Put this camera on there, camera bag. Yeah, so that's going to be my composition. Essentially what you see now is going to be my composition. Not a big fan of the channel markers in the shot, but they are what they are. They are what they are. You can't really do much about them at this time of year. All right, I'm going to bring the camera back further because that tide is coming in pretty quick. And here we start to get some nice textures in the rock. All right. So I've only brought you back here just so my tripod doesn't wash away quickly. Let me just adjust a few things before I take some shots. Sky's looking okay. It's looking okay. Loud and clear, good. Thanks, Linda. You know what, look, I don't want to get too far away from the mic. Let's just get over here. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm going to frame up. I almost want the sun just out of my frame. I don't want to shoot directly into the sun. Let's go and see what we can frame up. Some nice waves crashing in here now. I might concentrate on those waves for now. I don't need to be down this low either. Let's get up a bit higher. Yeah, just by getting up high, we can sort of get more foreground because we're looking down. Where that other spot, I wanted to be close to that little waterfall. Get the flow. We're up here, it's sort of more about reflections and how slippery is this. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Oh, the water is absolutely delicious. Really nice. All right, let's see what we've got going on. It's a nice wave. Should get some nice, as the tide comes in, we'll get some nice flow over those rocks. Oh, really, I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. Our foreground is there's nothing on this side, which is what I don't like. I don't like having nothing on that side. I might have to come back. I sort of wanted to get all that water flow, but yeah, I got nothing on this side of my frame. I'm not a big fan of negative space. I don't like that word negative. I want positive stuff in my photo. Negative's fine if you got like a lone yacht out in the ocean by itself. But fine art photography is more for your negative space, not seascapes. Seascapes still want it clean, but yeah, like there's just nothing happening over here, if that makes sense. Let me see what the camera looks like. And I'll show you kind of what I had framed up and show you why I didn't like it. See, back here looks much better. Still sanding fine, thanks Leslie. G'day Scotty, how are you? Welcome back. So that's kind of what I had framed up. Okay, so, and this is what I mean by negative space in a seascape photo. All of this down here is nothing, and that's what I don't want. I don't want all of this nothing down here. All I kind of had was this leading line straight through the frame here, but all nothing down here. Where if I come back a bit further, like if I come back here, at least now I've got something down here to balance the image out a bit better. And then if I go even wider, okay, now I've got lines. I've got a line coming in here, I've got a line coming in here. So it just looks a bit nicer rather than having all of this nothing. I do like to have lines in my photo, especially with a sunset. So yeah, I might just rethink what I'm framing up at the moment. Again, the sky's not really doing a lot. For Hervey Bay, the sky's not doing a lot. There's probably people in there thinking, bloody hell, the sky looks good, take some photos. Yeah, no, for Hervey Bay, that's not the most epic sky of all time. Yeah, I'm going to get some of these rocks. I want, while the sun's sort of where it is, I want that golden glow. I want that golden glow on the rocks. Okay, so I'm not going to have that much foreground. That's a bit messy for my liking. I'm just going to sort of have these rocks in the corner. I'm shooting 17mm on a wide angle. 17mm on a wide angle. 17mm on a full frame. So I'm going to get these rocks all sort of pointing out to where I want to shoot. That's much nicer. It's not great, but it's nicer. Okay, I'm just going to refocus. I'm sort of focusing on the point of that rock out there. I don't need it to be super sharp in here. I'm at f10. Might even go up to f11 just to get a slightly bigger depth of field. We are going to exposure bracket my way. So just take 2 exposures. I'm going to take one for my foreground first. So just doing 1 exposure for my foreground, because I'm shooting into the sun, I do want 2 exposures. And then I'll take another exposure for my sky. And again, I don't care if the sky blows out a little bit, we're shooting directly into the sun. So I don't mind having the sky slightly blown. And I don't want my foreground too bright. There, now it's looking nice. I'm just going to soak it in for a bit. I should have brought a beer. I did plan to bring a beer. Yeah, that up there is going to go off. I'll get around to my tree soon. So I'll quickly show you the back of my camera and show you how I do my bracketed photos. I don't use the inbuilt brackets. I do prefer to do my brackets manually. Just gives me more control. When you do bracketed photos, yeah, you can underexpose by 2 stops, 3 stops, 4, do brackets. I think this way is just, look, I think it's easier. All good over here, Neil. Thanks, Scott. Yeah, I still see your photos every now. I haven't been on Facebook a lot lately, but when I jump on, I always see your photos pop up. Very nice. Okay, so what I do with my bracketed exposures, first I'm looking at my shadow detail. So all I'm looking at is my histogram. Okay, because if I look at the metering here, it's telling me I'm overexposed. Okay, so I use my histogram. Okay, and I get my histogram until it's not too far to the left and I've got plenty of shadow detail. And as you can see, I'm completely blowing out the sky. So what I do is I take that shot there, because then I know I've got my shadow detail if I need it. Okay, and as you can see, it's still fairly dark. If we have a look at that shot, it's still fairly dark, but I know I've got shadow detail there for post-processing. And then all I do is just speed up my shutter speed. Okay, and as you can see, I've got no clipping in my highlights at all, so I'm just going to push that as far to the right as I can. And again, because we're shooting into the sun, I don't mind blowing them a little bit. And there's my second exposure. So that way I can control my highlights and my shadows rather than setting up the camera into bracketing mode and hoping that it goes enough stops either side, if that makes sense. Okay, so according to this, there's my base exposure, like right in the middle there is my base exposure. And if I was to take that, like that's fine. If you want to get everything in one shot, that's a good place to start. That's your base exposure. Okay, but because we're shooting into the sun, we're going to be very dark here, we're going to be very bright up there. So I will do that anyway, just to get a base exposure. And then when you do bracketed exposures, basically what's going to happen, if you've got it set to 2, it'll go up to there. And if you've got it set to -2, it'll go down there. So at -2, it's almost a wasted shot, because look how much detail we're missing. Where this way I can get my highlights roughly where I want them, rather than the camera choosing 2 stops under, where I'm just wasting a lot of detail. Okay, so just by using my histogram, I can get that like borderline. I can even get it so it is underexposed. Well, not underexposing, but not clipping. Okay, and then the other way, you know, we're only sort of 1 stop either side. Okay, so that's how I do it anyway. I used to do bracketed photos. All the time. And then I'd find I'd get home with 200 to 300 photos. Where if I just do my exposures, and, you know, even a scene like this, we could almost do it all in one exposure. Okay. Well, if you do brackets, especially if you've got 5 to 7 brackets set up, you're going to end up with a lot of photos to go through. Where, yeah, all I want is shadow detail, I want some highlight detail, and, you know, in here we're looking at maybe 1 to 2 stops. Okay, so I don't really need to bracket in that case. So yeah, if you do bracketed photos, give that a try. Just use your histogram. Don't look so much at your actual exposure, okay, because that can be deceiving. For example, if I put this up towards the sky, now that's gone up to 2 stops over. Where if I come back down and concentrate on our foreground, I haven't changed anything, but now it's telling my exposure is perfect, where it's not. Okay, that's saying that I've got a perfect exposure, but just by moving, not changing shutter speed, not changing settings, and now I'm 2 stops over. So a lot of that has to do with metering, how you have your metering set up. So yeah, it's sort of shooting in full manual mode. It lets you control what's happening rather than the camera trying to calculate what's happening, if that makes sense. I'll do another video on it one day and try and explain it a bit better than that. But yeah, so now that the sun's almost set, so we can almost do this all in one exposure. So if we expose there, we've pretty much got everything. Okay, those shadows aren't quite clipping and the highlights are perfect. But then you're pushing your camera to its limits. You're literally pushing it, and then in post-processing you're going to have to lift your shadows heaps, take your highlights down heaps, which is perfectly fine, unless you want to print your picture. If you want to print your picture really big, you want it to be the best quality you possibly can. So Neil, if I understand you right, use your histogram 1 over, 1 under, 1 using system metering, and then in post merge the 3. Yeah, basically that's what happens. So if you're using Lightroom, you use the HDR merge, and that will merge them all together. Yeah, so I just do the 2 exposures. I do 1 for my highlights, 1 for my shadows, and the Lightroom HDR merge does a good job sometimes. If you've got movement in the water, it's terrible. Because what will happen, the movement in the water will be really bright. So what it'll do, it'll try and take that underexposed to take out all that texture in the water because it thinks it's too bright. So that's where I go into Photoshop and choose the parts I want to blend. Where the HDR merge in Lightroom, it's good for like images like this where we don't really we're not worried about our water movement too much. It can work well, but yeah, if you're deliberately getting that texture in the water, when you do the merge, it's just going to think, okay, this is all bright down here, I'm going to bring in some of that darker exposure, and then you lose all that texture. So yeah, that's why, especially as soon as you start merging more than 3 exposures, it's then trying to combine 3 different exposures which, you know, for things like real estate, absolutely perfect, where you've got a static shot and no movement. Perfect for scenes like that. But if you're trying to capture movement in your water, if you try and blend images, it's going to think this water's too bright, I'm going to bring in a darker exposure, and then it gets rid of all your texture. I'll try and make a video on it that explains it a bit better. I'm a doer, not a thinker. I'm a doer, not a thunker. I understand what I mean, yeah, trying to explain things, I'm learning. This is all new to me, this whole teaching is still new to me, to tell the truth. I've only been teaching for a couple of years now. So in my head it all makes sense, but just trying to explain it to people is something that I'm still working on. And that's kind of why I started doing YouTubes, just to hear myself talk, so when I do run a class, I can listen back and think, oh, why did you say that? So it's kind of, yeah, teaching myself how to teach, because you never stop learning. I've said it before, if you think you know everything, go and find something else to do. Because I can tell you now, I do not know everything. I'm still learning. Alright, I'm moving up to my tree because I can see what's happening in the sky. And I don't want to be carrying everything. I want to get comfortable. I want to get comfortable for when that sky lights up. Let's see how my weather prediction is. But yeah, I remember when I first started doing landscapes and seascapes, I did used to shoot in aperture priority a lot. And aperture priority is a really good spot to start, because that'll teach you about your underexposures, overexposures, and it gives you good control of it. And again, I'm going to do a video shortly on aperture priority, because aperture priority is a very, very good spot to start. Very good spot to start. Okay, you don't have to shoot in manual mode. It definitely gives you more control, but you don't have to. See, where we are now, if we're not concentrating on water movement, I can do aperture priority absolutely perfectly fine. And no one's going to know what you shot. No one can see your camera settings when you put a picture up or print it out. I think that's what a lot of people forget sometimes, that no one really cares what settings you used on your camera. They just want to know whether it's a good picture or not. As we get older, it becomes a cause of remembering what we have learned. Yeah, exactly. And I find that, like, a lot of these things I learnt years and years ago, they're always coming up with new ways of teaching, but sometimes you just go back to the basics. And I'm very much, yeah, like, I know they keep introducing all these new tools in Photoshop, for example, and I just don't care. As long as I can get the result I want the way I'm doing it. Photography hasn't changed a lot over the years. You know, the technology's getting better, but the principles are the same. It's all... See, now look at our light. Now our light's nice. Okay. Now I just want, with that little bit of a golden glow there, hopefully I want it to come up and light this up. And if it doesn't, I don't care, because it's a nice night out here. Look at that. It's really nice. I'm not taking photos, I'm just sort of soaking it in at the moment, to tell the truth. Waiting for that tide to come in a bit. I should get some photos while that sun's where it is. But yeah, again, you know, the live streams are just I've said it before, show off Hervey Bay. Show off Hervey Bay. I've got so many photos that are similar to what we're looking at now that I'm not too concerned if I'm not taking photos at the moment, because I'm waiting for something epic to happen. And this happened the other night. This cloud here just went off. It went off, it went orange. We're getting to that time. Once that sun dips below the horizon and starts, the sun, as it goes below the horizon, it starts to then come up over the earth and usually lights up that high cloud. So when the cloud's low on the horizon, it usually lights up while it's low, but with that high cloud, once the sun goes down, and look out that way, like even out that way is nice. Not a lot of colour, but it's just nice. So you know what, I think I'm just going to get set up at my tree. I know the tide's coming in. I've got plenty of shots here with these rocks. I'm just going to get set up at the tree. My one of many trees. It really does need water under it, this one. But yeah, we're sort of not far away from high tide. High tide's probably another hour away. So an hour either side of the high tide. Still moves pretty quickly. Okay, so look at that's essentially my composition. Okay, as the tide comes in, we'll get all water everywhere. It'll look a bit nicer. I might even a bit too many rocks to the right at the moment. So if we get up here further, go that way a bit further. Now we've got these kind of lines leading out to our tree where they've got that glow there. And now all I need is that sky to start doing something. And it should look nice. Should look nice. But yeah, just wanted to get out. Get out, take some photos. I missed a good sunset last night. Last night was a very good one. Can't remember what I was doing last night. Went fishing a few nights ago. Just over there on the beach. Which I actually have a video almost ready to go up. Almost. It's a nice boat. Yeah, so as the tide comes in, we'll get some nice... I'm going to hang around for Blue Hour tonight for sure. For sure. Yeah. So just give you, like, anyone who's seen the photos of this tree, I'm just going to stand next to the tree to give you an idea of how big it is. So it is fairly big. It looks quite small in the photos because of the wide angle. The wide angle tends to make things look small unless you get up really close. So yeah, it is a fairly large tree, this one. Some of the other ones I shoot are quite small, and then you need to get down really low for those ones. But this one, yeah, it's a nice high tree. It's nice. Nice little mangrove tree. So starting to get some water in here now, which is what I want. The sky's nice. The sky is nice. Excuse me while I stand in front of you. Yeah, so now we're getting that, the pinks and the blues that I wanted earlier out over there is kind of what I wanted. So let me show you what's happening over there. So when I was set up for my little waterfall pondy thing, look at that out there, starting to get some pinks and blues, starting to look really nice. So yeah, but yeah, look, I'm going to stick with this comp for now. So yes, g'day, Matthew Burgess Photos, welcome. Beautiful comp it is. Look, it's a very safe spot. It's one of those spots where if I don't know what I'm doing, I sort of come here, and on the right tide, eventually we'll get some nice water running through all these rocks. So it's nice. And all our colours going off over that way. So I've got a bit to work with. So yeah, thank you for jumping in. G'day, Pam. We're just starting to get some nice colour in the clouds up here. Yeah, it's just starting to go off here as well. Is your colour looking south, or have you got different colour up there? Because this is all, well, that's north actually. So if you look north, are you getting this same colour? Because yeah, Pam's in Maryborough, which is a fair way away, but I'm just interested to see whether she gets this same. Yeah, look, it's up above us. It is. Oh wow, look over there. Look over that way. Pam might be getting that colour. She might be getting all that back that way. Look at that. This is looking good. I'm going to stop talking and take photos. So excuse me for a while. I'm going to start taking some photos because yes, it is. As Matthew just said, the clouds are looking epic. It's starting to happen. It's starting to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'll bring the camera over once I get set up. Now that all the clouds going out that way, I want the tree in the middle, so the clouds are kind of coming out of the tree. Some more water would be nice. This is where I'm just going to... Oh wow, look at the moon as well. I've got to show you that. Oh wow, yeah. Oh yeah, I need a higher tide. I do need a higher tide, but let me see what I can figure out here. If I get down lower, I can get rid of some of that foreground. So this is, if you want to get rid of your foreground, I'll come and show you in a second. I'm going to get down low, and that will just thin out my foreground, or midground, more foreground. Thin out my midground. Oh, that's nice. It's not great, but it's nice. Yeah, it's looking okay. Alright, I've got to give you a quick tour. Have a look what's happening. Days like this, I kind of wish I had the telephoto. So look at all that colour up there, and we've got the full moon. It's going to be very hard to see. Let me see if I can zoom in a bit. Full moon, just look, even that's a nice shot over there. The phone's not doing it justice. This is all pink. I wish I could change the white balance in a live stream, because the phone doesn't do it. Yeah, when I live stream, I've got no control over the phone, but that is literally, that is pink. That is, I've got to take photos and stop talking. Bear with me. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Look at that. Absolutely jealous of these clouds, Tanfield. Yeah, it's been wet up there, hasn't it? From the front door, northeasterly. Okay, yeah, so you will be sort of seeing, Pam will be seeing all that. That's kind of northeasterly. So yeah, she'll be seeing all that. And trust me, that is pink. God, I wish I could change the white balance on this phone while I'm streaming. Alright, I've got to get shots. It's looking good. It's looking good. So I'll show you on the back of my camera exactly how pink it looks. Oh, look at that. That's nice. That's... God, 17mm isn't wide enough. Oh, wow. It's again, it's one of those nights where there's too much colour. There's too much going on. Do I have to do a pano? No, I don't want to shoot that way. And it's just going to get better. I said this would happen. I've seen this sky before. I've seen this sky before. I'm going to get in closer to the tree. I don't want to block the sky. If the tide was a little bit higher, it's nights like this, it makes you realise exactly how hard photography can be, because we've got an epic sky, but just trying to get a composition that I'm happy with is not easy. And I'll show you what I mean by not easy. I've got like all of this over here I just don't like. I don't like all of that. I don't want all that in my shot. I'd much rather have something framed up here, but all my colours over here. So let me just work on a composition that I like. Even by getting down low, I've still got all that mid-ground in my shot. What's it look like over here? This could be nice. This could be nice. It's okay. It's not great. But I'm just going to take shots anyway, because sometimes you might line something up and think it's not great, but it turns out to be okay. Happens a lot. Oh, I've still got my filter on too. I don't want my filter on. Well, actually, no, maybe I do. Yeah, that's actually not too bad. Losing that colour pretty quickly, so I'm just taking photos, don't mind me, you just enjoy the view. The colour is starting to move back where I want it. Over here's not too bad actually. Nice long exposures, smoothing out the water where I am. I'll show you some of my shots soon. In the meantime, just sit back and enjoy this Hervey Bay sunset. And it has been like this. Anyone who's been in Hervey Bay recently, it's hard not to get out because every night has been pretty epic for quite a while. Oh, look at that. I'm going to have to do 2 exposures now. We're at 13 seconds. I'm going to have to take this filter off, but I don't want to. Yeah, so now all our colours coming over the other way. Now have a look what's happening out here. So now I've sort of got more what I want framed up. Get rid of all this crap out this side to the right. Should have bought a bucket to wet the rocks. Yeah, look, I normally just kick water on them. And I do that quite a lot. I just kick the water on the rocks, but there's too many. But I'll show you what I've got framed up soon. And it's kind of nice with these long exposures, to tell the truth. Just smoothing out the water quite nicely. Okay. Let me see if I can make you jealous. Now I've had to do multiple exposures because now I'm shooting into the sun. Let me show you what I've got. There's my exposure for the sky. Look at the sky compared to what the phone's doing. The phone's just grey and flat. Look at that. There is blues and pinks. And then, oh, wrong one. There's my foreground. So now I've got those nice leading lines in the tree and that epic sky. How's that? Are you jealous? You should be. You should be. I'm jealous of everyone that was out here last night, to tell the truth. So yes, now the colour's moved and we're losing it, so I'm going to take some more photos. I haven't got time to take my filter off, so I'm just leaving the filter on. But the long exposures are actually looking nice. The long exposures are looking nice. Wow. That's really nice. I feel like I did too much talking then. I've lost it. I've lost the colour. I've only got 3 or 4 good shots. I only got 3 or 4 good shots. Not 50. Wow, look at that. Yeah, I did too much talking. How many have I got? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 shots. While all that was happening, I took 5 photos. That's it, no more live streaming. Thank you for coming, but I'm not doing that again because now I've just missed all that epic colour. Nah, look, I don't care. It's nice. That reflection in the water looks awesome. Yeah, I'm sort of glad I did leave the filter on now. It just kind of smoothed it out. Like it's not still enough for reflections. So having that longer exposure smooths the water out, and then yeah, it looks nice. Look how quickly we lost that colour. That was crazy. That was. Let me show you what I got. Now that I'm going to hang around for blue hour because we will get more colour. So don't leave just yet. We will get more colour. Okay, so that's my exposure for the foreground. That's my exposure for the sky. And then look how quickly that colour disappeared from there to there. And then again, we've got some, yeah, the foreground's nice with that long exposure. So to me, that's one shot because I'll just blend them together. So that was where I went before. To me, too much negative space here. I don't like all this in the middle. Like, we got the lines, but it's just, yeah, I don't like what's happening in the middle of the shot there. Okay, there it's not as bad. So that's nice. Again, I don't like what's happening to the right. That's okay. That's okay. And that's it. That's all I got. I'm blaming everyone in the chat for me missing. Nah, look, I didn't miss anything. I got shots. I got some shots. It was nice just to have everyone in there watching. I'm sure there's probably a few people in here saying, God, I would have done this and I would have done that. But guess what? You're not here and I am. John, you have more water than what I have at the moment. My swamp is nothing but a puddle at the moment, bone dry. So where are you, John, for it to be bone dry? Because look at that. Now we're starting to get the blue hour. Blue hour's kicking in already. Look at the purples and okay, all right. Sorry, John, I'll get back to you. But yeah, where are you, John? Let me know where you are. Because yeah, I know most of Queensland has been pretty wet. Well, the east coast of Queensland has been pretty wet. So now we're getting to that time of night where now I like to get some of these reflections. And I brought Suzanne out here the other night and she got some really epic shots. So look at that. Narracourt southeast. Okay, so yeah. All right. So that's, yeah, we were just talking about, we used to do trips to Merimbula. I think Narracourt's a bit further north than Merimbula. Yeah, it's South New South Wales, isn't it? Narracourt, southeast New South Wales? Or am I thinking of a different place? I love the southeast coast of Australia, is amazing. It is one of my favourite. Oh, actually, I'm going to take this filter off. Let me take this filter off while I think of it. We're already going to get long exposures without a filter on. I don't need super long exposures. Bear with me for a second. I want to do this quickly because sometimes that light disappears quickly at blue hour. Especially those rays, the purple rays. They tend not to last too long sometimes. Yeah, that tide's coming in quick. Just going to move my bag back a little bit. I might move you guys back a little bit too. But yeah, now this time of night, these rocks are really, really nice. So for anyone in Hervey Bay, this spot, if you get here on the right tide, so many options. Like these rocks here, really nice foreground. Okay, that's better. Oh, should have left the filter on. Should have left the filter on. Okay, now I'm just going to refocus. I've removed position. I'm just going to refocus. Okay, I'm just kind of going close to infinity, getting fair way out into the frame. I'll expose for my sky first while that's looking good. Where's my histogram gone? My histogram's disappeared. I'll expose for my sky first. While the sky's doing stuff, I'm going to quickly expose for my sky and get that. I don't know how well you can see this, but we've got these purple beams of light coming up. Wow, look at that. Far out. And now, oh yeah, look at that. That's nice. That's really, really nice. Narracourt, South Australia. Okay, yep. All right, so yeah, definitely south. My geography's a bit off. I used to be pretty good with my geography. Narracourt, South Australia. There you go. Look at that. Yeah, I'm just trying to get my... I wish I could expose for the sky. This bloody phone. Matt knows. Matt's an ex-South Australian. What am I doing here? Alright, I'm just going to set this up. Yeah, I need to... Yeah, my streaming app doesn't let me adjust the phone, so you've got a big blown... Trust me, these beams are light up purple. They are. I'll show you the back of the camera. You'll probably get a better look at it. Let me get some shots while we're here. So again, now I'm definitely doing 2 exposures because the foreground's very dark. Look at that sky. Wow. That's really nice. And yeah, this foreground again, I'll show you in a second, but I've got kind of rocks on either side of my frame, leading me out towards that. Oh yeah, that's nice. One of my favourite spots is back here, which we'll get to soon. So this is one of those spots I do like to be down nice and low. Yeah, that one's not so good. Sort of moving around until I see something I like. That one's not bad. That one's not bad. Bit more sky. Bit more sky in that shot. Look at that sky. It's really nice. Yeah, that's okay. Foreground's not great. Not great, but it's... Look at this sky. I almost feel like I'm not getting enough sky in this shot. And that tree, now that tree's kind of not doing what I want it to do. I'm going to get up higher. Let's have a look at it up higher. We'll get back to the chat soon. I just want to try and get this sky while we've got those beams coming up, because they are looking really nice. What's going on here? Got something loose. That's better. Let's brighten this up so I can see. Oh, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Get it up about there somewhere. I'll show you what I've got going on in the back of the camera. But yeah, look at that sky. Yeah, the phone's starting to pick it up pretty well now. Okay, there's a lot happening in the chat. Let me just quickly get a few more shots while it's doing what I want it to do. Oh, it's hot out here now, the wind's died off. Look at that, that's nice. That's nice. Alright, let's have a look what's happening in the chat. Narrow-court. I need to get back there. Need to get back out there. Missed it. Yeah, look, soon, Leslie, soon you'll be back in action. Yeah, very dry. South Australia, bushfires. We've had a lot of bushfires this year. Some close to the Narrow-court, others in Victoria. Yeah, still got friends down in Victoria, and it has been pretty dry down there. Yeah, Matt grew up in South Australia. I grew up in Victoria. They're all from somewhere. Yeah, I kind of like that composition, so I'm going to do it again. Actually, no, I'm not. I've already got it. Let me see what else I can find. See if I can find something better. Yeah, no. I should have stayed where I was. I should have stayed where I was. Yeah, sometimes, look, if you've got a good composition, don't bother moving. Now I've lost it where it was. That'll do. Yes, well, I hope you've all enjoyed tonight, because I certainly have. It started off a bit sketchy, but we got there. We've got some nice colour now. Blue hour never disappoints. Blue hour never disappoints. It's always nice. Always nice. And even out this way, there's still colour out there. I don't know. Let's see how well the phone picks that up out that way. There's still plenty of colour happening out there too. It's just all over the place. Yes, Pam. Hang on, where are we? 40 degrees tomorrow in Narrow-court. Oh yeah, see, I don't miss that from down south, the 40 degree days. Up here we sort of, 32, 33 is hot for us, but it's the humid. Yeah, down there, the 40 degree days, I remember having a lot of them. Pam, it would make for a nice silhouette self-portrait. Absolutely. This is what I was hoping for the other night. God, if we had a night like this when we did the self-portrait, we probably picked the worst night of the week, to tell the truth. we had some really good sunsets, and then the night we did our sunset portrait class, there was no cloud at all. There was no cloud at all. And then for the last 2 nights, last 3 nights even, it's been like this. But, you know, now that you know what to do, Pam, get out there tonight in the backyard and take some portraits. Yeah, look, you can never predict the weather. Like, even when I did the live stream today, I saw that there was a bit of cloud around. And I've done that plenty of times in the past. I've seen a bit of cloud, get down here, it just breaks up and fizzles out. So you never know. You just got to go. You just got to go. It's the hard part of running classes is you can never predict the weather. All right, now I'm going to show you the back of the camera because yeah, this is really looking good. So again, this is multiple exposure territory now because it's so bright. So there's my exposure for the foreground, which looks really, trust me, it's not that bright. And there, look at the sky. That's more what the sky should look like on the camera. It's definitely got more blue and purple in it than what the phone's picking up. Okay, so yeah, just these ones are just for the foreground. I've kind of got some lines. I think that was the one where I moved when I wish I didn't. That one was a little bit nicer. That one was nice. Yeah, again, the phone sort of doesn't do it justice at this time of night. You can see the sky clear enough, but yeah, got some nice shots tonight. And then we got them, which I'll probably skip straight over when I get home. It's all about light. You can't beat good light. And you know, good light, then you get good light in your foreground, you get good light in the trees. Good light is what it makes and breaks a photo. It really does. So even portraits with this light would be incredible. Nice golden glow. So yeah, thank you to everyone who jumped in. I might have to wind it up soon. It's getting dark. I've got my shots. I'm quite happy with what I've got. But yeah, look at that sky. So yeah, if you missed it, just rewind it about an hour or catch up on the stream tomorrow. Definitely hang around because that sunset was pretty epic. That was pretty epic. I love nights like this. So yeah, thank you again to everyone who joined in. I'll start doing my wind. I'll probably talk for another half an hour knowing me. I'll say goodbye to everyone. So yeah, thank you to everyone who jumped in and had a bit of a look. Yeah, not really. I try not to keep these too educational. These are more just to show you Hervey Bay and show you my way of thinking more than anything. Like the pre-planned videos, like the last video I did, for example, I went out without a plan. I didn't know what I was doing. And that's kind of what happens when you go, you have a rough plan. You want to do a sunset or you want to do some water movement or, you know, tonight I kind of had my plan of those, you know, the water in the rock pool. That was my plan. Didn't work. We had no light. And this was my backup plan, which, to be honest, I don't think my backup plan here has ever failed. But yeah, like when I make the videos, I usually just go out and think, okay, what am I going to do? You got to wait and see what the sky does. So yeah, I was actually going to make a video tonight. It would have been good, but again, I wouldn't have had a plan. Let's sort of wing it as I go. So yeah, that's the reason of the live streams, is just to show you on location and what you have to deal with sometimes. Because yeah, as you saw before, as the light was starting to go over this way, I just had no composition. I had nothing in my foreground, and I'm not a big fan of just sky. Like, yeah, beautiful sky, looks awesome, but I just like to have something in my foreground, you know, get some reflections and some water and some trees, just to make it as interesting as possible without overpopulating the image. So yeah, hopefully you did enjoy it, because I did. Look, the sky's still doing plenty. I could take more photos if I wanted to, but I've kept my wind up to about 5 minutes. I will finish up now. So yeah, thank you again, everyone. And this time I am actually going. And yeah, stay tuned. I will plan another live stream. The place that I wanted to go to, the tide hasn't been right. The weather hasn't been right. If I'm going to this place, I want to really show it off as best as I can. So stay tuned. I have a location lined up that's going to be pretty epic. On that note, I am going to go pack up, go home and have a beer. So thank you all again. Thanks up and about. Thanks for popping in. Peter, Pam, Linda, John, Matt, Leslie. I know Jack was in here. Kath was probably in here somewhere. I hope I didn't miss any of Kath's messages tonight. Scotty, thank you. So yeah, thank you to everyone. And yeah, look, if you did leave a message and I didn't read it out, I had that issue last time I streamed where I just don't see messages on the back of my phone sometimes. I'm going to blame the Hervey Bay reception, that it just doesn't push everything through. So yeah, I sent it via NetBank. I sent him a NetBank transfer just as we started the stream. It came through a bit late. So thanks again, everyone. I'm talking crap now, so I will go. All right, I will see you all again shortly. Good night.